Hi, I'm Joy.
Hi, I'm Susan.
And this is Girlish Gurus. And Susan, why are we here?
We are here to start a conversation about female empowerment and the issues facing women our age at this time, and to have some fun along the way.
So, let's get started.
Okay. Hi, welcome back to Girlish Gurus. And we're here for another episode. And with us is our friend Lorraine Miano, talking this time about self-care. And Lorraine's joined us a couple other times to talk about menopause, to talk about safe products we can be using. And so today we really wanted to focus on self-care. And this to me is a very important topic and one that I hold dear. I think Joy does as well.
Oh, yes.
And I know Lorraine does. So there's a lot of things here we can cover. What's the best place to start, Lorraine?
Well, first, thank you for having me back. I appreciate it.
It's always fun having you.
It's a pleasure.
Yes,
it is.
Absolutely.
So we can start with the reasons we need self-care, especially as women. And for many of us during these years, during the perimenopause to menopause years, we may be that sandwich generation where stress levels are off the charts because we're caring for adult children and maybe aging parents, and besides having a full-time career and all the other stresses of daily living that we experience. And if we don't take care of ourselves, obviously, they say, you can't pour from an empty cup. So we're naturally nurturers. We want to be able to care for those in our life. So if we're not caring for ourselves, we can't really do that very well. So it's important that we take the time for self-care to really care for ourselves. So I don't know, where do you want to start? There's so many wonderful things we can do for ourselves.
Well, maybe we could talk about what we each do and then kind of move on from there. Joy, do you want to share what you do to provide self-care?
Absolutely. And one of the things I do to take care of myself is this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I spend time with girlfriends. Mm-hmm. We've actually done a podcast episode of the importance of girlfriends, and I can't tell you what a godsend you all have been for me and my other girlfriends, and it's just been invaluable as I've transitioned in a lot of ways. And so this has really been a saving grace for me. And that's something, spending time with my girlfriends, that's
back at you.
Exactly.
It's been critical. Yep.
Yeah.
Has saved my bacon in many ways, for sure.
And it is a huge part of self-care. Having those friendships is vital.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And I know you've probably talked about it in the episode that you did, but I mean, there's even studies proving that women that spend time together makes for a healthier life, a longer life. And it's so important that we really take the time to do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Community is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that is my number one big self-care tool, frankly. And I do other things for myself. I take time to read and enjoy detective mysteries and things like that. Those are things that I make sure I spend time doing.
Yeah. Yeah, hobbies is a big one for women too. And oftentimes we put those on the back burner during these years, and we really need to make time for that. Like, get back to the things you love, whether it's art, singing, playing an instrument, just reading. I mean, for the longest time, I had a stack of books next to my bed, and I'm like, I'm just too tired to read them.
Yeah.
But really taking the time, even during the day, it doesn't have to be just at bedtime, to really get back to what you really love doing.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Susan?
I would say the two probably most real ritualistic things that I do. There are a lot of things I enjoy doing that I think are probably considered self-care, but would be meditating and journaling. And I do journaling through morning pages. And that's something I learned from reading The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And I'm a big proponent of that whole thing. But the morning pages to me are invaluable because for me, it's like a brain dump. I get up, I make my coffee, I sit down, and I write my 3 pages out. And that's basically what it is. You're just supposed to do a brain dump on 3 pages, and it really helps clear your head of all those things that may be bothering you, causing you stress, causing you anxiety. And it's amazing the difference it can make to get those out on a page.
And the intent should be that you're writing without the expectation that anyone will read this, because if you're really paying attention to wanting to put the truth out there,
Right.
you don't want anybody else to read it, because that'll stifle what you're going to put on that
That's
paper.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've just found that to be very cathartic for me. So those are the two I would say I do every day. But like you, I have a lot of other things that I like to do that just give me a lot of comfort and relaxation.
Yeah. For me, I love a good walk. That's so relaxing to me. And I do it without any headphones, without anything. I just like to be, as they say, one with nature and with my mind. And that a 20-minute walk can be better than a Xanax, according to studies.
Wow.
Yeah. So anytime you're feeling any kind of anxiety or a little bit of depression, taking a nice walk could help with that. Another big one I love, and this is not a daily thing, but massage.
Oh, yes.
I have such stress in my body all the time. I don't know. I do hold it in because I can really feel it when I have a good massage, just that relief. And I'm blessed to have a husband who we'll sit down to watch TV and I'll just stick my foot on his lap. And he's so good. He just massages my foot. And that is just enough to like release whatever tension I'm holding in my body at that moment.
Yeah.
And if you can't afford to go for a real like therapeutic massage, just trade off, with a loved one, a girlfriend, even just, a nice back rub. Each of you can just trade off and do that. And so just releases toxins, stress, and can prevent anxiety from coming on.
Yeah. Massages are amazing. That and facials. If you can't afford to do it, to go to a spa, a day spa or whatever, and do those, or a pedicure, those to me, that's self-care, and it's relaxing and it's enjoyable. And
you can actually do a combo thing and just do an at-home spa day with the girlfriends.
True.
And just have some of those nice products that we talked about in the last episode, and just have a nice time just enjoying each other. And
Gee, I can't remember the last time I had a facial.
Yeah.
I just can't. It's I maybe in my lifetime I've maybe had one or two.
Really? It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. When we go to, like my husband and I like to, when we travel, occasionally go to a nice health spa, and he'll go and get a massage. It's nice because you just have to buy one service and then you can spend the day using all the facilities.
That's right.
So he'll get a massage and then I will get a facial, because I usually get my massages at home and I'm like, but how often am I going to get a facial?
Right.
And it's so wonderful. It feels good. You look good. You're glowing afterward.
I love them. Love them.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, it sounds like we all have our favorites, and I don't know. I haven't had a massage and a facial in a very long time, partially because of COVID.
I was going to say girls trip.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's talk about maybe some other things that maybe aren't as obvious or aren't within the list that we've already talked about. Lorraine, what are some of the things that you've...
Breathing, deep breathing, so beneficial for good sleep, for releasing tension, anxiety. And my favorite is the 4-7-8 breath, which was created by Dr. Andrew Weil. And it's based on a yoga breath, but basically it is putting your tongue in the roof of your mouth, breathing in through your nose for a count of 4, holding it for a count of 7, and releasing for a count of 8, and doing 4 series of that. I have women that I have coached and have taught this to, and basically they can't even get through the 4 sessions without falling asleep at night, some of them.
Wow.
So I used it when I had anxiety. So beneficial. And you could do it during the day, having a tense time in traffic at a stoplight. Just do the 4-7-8 breath. Have a little raised anxiety after maybe an unpleasant conversation. Do the 4-7-8 breath. And it's cumulative, because we're not used to doing that deep breathing and getting all that oxygen that we need. So by doing this every day, a few times a day, you're actually building up that oxygen in your body.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
From what I understand, I keep hearing more and more about breath work becoming something that people are really starting to grab onto as a self-care method. There's classes now in how to do deep breathing and different kinds of breath work. So I think there's probably information out there about how beneficial it can be to you. I haven't necessarily read any articles about it, but I just have noticed more and more it's out there and available.
I mean, just imagine anxiety levels are off the charts, depression is
Oh,
on the rise,
yes.
especially during this pandemic era. And so breathing is a wonderful technique to release all of that.
Yeah.
To really, it's so healthy.
Yeah. It's terrific. Okay.
And it's free.
And it's free.
Right.
I'm just saying, because,
is.
you know,
Yeah.
inflation.
Right. Right. And it's free.
Precisely.
Probably walking and breathing. Two
Right.
things. They're free.
Right.
That's exactly right. That's the thing that's wonderful about this is most of this stuff is free or very inexpensive to do.
Journaling.
In
Yeah.
your own home. Yeah, I buy those 99-cent notebooks
Right.
at the dollar store, and
Right.
that's what I use to do my journaling. Okay, so those two things. Now, I mentioned meditation too. I know Joy does that too, and Lorraine, I'm guessing you do as well.
I do. I actually, before I came, because I knew we'd be talking about all these different things, I looked up the 2022 best apps for meditation.
Oh, good.
There are 7 of them. And the best overall app is Calm.
Well, that's a real popular one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a budget, like if you want to pay for an app, the best one is Insight Timer.
Oh, that's the one I use.
Okay.
Yes.
For sleep, Headspace. For beginners, 10% Happier Meditation. For a guided meditation, Buddhify, which is Buddhify.
Okay.
For focus, Unplug. And for best selection of different meditations, Simple Habit. So those were the top rated 7 apps for 2022.
Okay.
Cool.
Interesting.
So meditation, I know a lot of people say, oh, I can't sit there. I can't meditate. You just have to let whatever thoughts come into your head come in. And don't try to block them, because that makes it even harder to meditate. So
It does.
eventually you learn how to just be in the moment. And these are some of the benefits of practicing meditation. So it helps you to build skills to manage stress. It increases your self-awareness, because you're really sitting there and really just paying attention to what's going on in your body. And there are certain meditations that actually take you through, okay, feel your hands,
Right.
what's happening in your feet, take that breath.
Like a body scan.
Right, a whole body scan. Focusing on the present, reducing negative emotions, increasing imagination and creativity, increasing patience and tolerance. It helps to lower your resting heart rate and your resting blood pressure. It improves the quality of your sleep. And it even has been proven to help with some health conditions. So it helps you manage anxiety, depression, IBS, chronic pain, and other illnesses. So many benefits to meditating.
Absolutely. I know for me, there are multiple. It calms me quickly. Like if I'm having an anxiety time, I just sit for a few minutes, shut my eyes and meditate for a little bit, and it helps tremendously. And I think the nice thing about some of these apps that A, they're free, some of them.
Yeah. And
B,
even the ones that you pay for, they have a certain number that are free
Correct.
before you have to pay. Yeah.
But a lot of them have guided meditation. So if you aren't comfortable and you don't quite know how to start or what to
Right.
do, those are great
That's a good entry.
ways.
Yes.
yeah.
Great ways to kind of figure it out and figure out what works for you if you're just starting out.
And if you don't want to do it on your phone, I've actually done them. There are YouTube meditations that you can actually look up that are wonderful,
Right.
that I've actually shared with people on my support group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent. Okay. Something similar that I know we talked about briefly before we started today that I just wanted to mention too, which is similar to meditation, is tapping. And I've been doing that for a short time now. A friend of mine recommended that I try it. And it is similar to meditation, but it just, again, is meant to help reduce anxiety. And for some people that find meditation hard, it might be a good alternative to it, I would say. The main app that I use is called the Tapping Solution, and we can put information about that on the notes. But I found it to be helpful, and I use it as a supplement to my meditation.
And I've looked into it. I haven't actually practiced it yet. I've experimented, but haven't like really taken it in as a practice. But it is like tapping like on certain areas, right? Above
Right.
different areas on your chest and under your eyes and
between
head.
your eyebrows, below your eyes, on the side of your eyes, below your nose, on your chin, on the top of your head, under your arm. There's specific key points, and when you tap on those, supposedly it's hitting certain nerve points in your body that help you to relax and just get into a less anxious
And it's
place.
true because it makes you concentrate on doing that. So
Yes.
you're releasing any thoughts from your mind too.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, I think I could see that being very beneficial.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
They actually, I read an article that they want to teach it to children in elementary school because there's so much high anxiety levels nowadays because of the pandemic and everything.
Right.
And just in general, bullying, different things that go on, that they want to actually teach it to kids so that when they're in a stressful situation, they can actually just do that,
Yeah.
just sit there and concentrate
And tap.
and do it and tap.
Well, and that most of the ones I've done are guided. It's Nick Ortner is the gentleman's name who started this. He's written a book about it.
I receive his emails every single day.
And then they have this that you can use. He and his sister guide you through most of them, but there are other people on the app too. So anyway, it's a nice option as something a little different than just meditation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what other things did
Well,
you
kind of to go along with the meditation and tapping is just solitude and quiet. And that's why I enjoy walking, because to me, I am not talking to anyone. I'm not listening to anything. And it's just me and nature and enjoying that quiet time. And I actually love that in the mornings. Oh, and speaking about the morning pages, we can talk about that too. If you don't get to doing your morning pages in the morning, there's nothing wrong with doing them in the afternoon or the evening. And actually, for some people, journaling at night is beneficial because they do that brain dump before they go to sleep, so they don't have all that anxiety swirling in their heads.
Right.
But sometimes in the morning, rather than do the morning pages, I will lay there before I get out of bed in solitude, in quiet, and just think. And it's not necessarily a meditation, but it's just being quiet and thinking about what my intentions are for the day and just bringing that quiet release, I guess, in the morning.
Yeah. And I think for some people who have a busy household, to find a few moments of quiet and stillness all to themselves, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Very big deal, yes.
Especially you have children still in the house. I know my son-in-law, I've seen him get up extra early in the morning, like he's a teacher, and he would get up a little extra early so he could go sit out on his back deck, like I would be visiting, and I would see he would just have his cup of coffee and just sitting there before the three little ones get up and the day begins. So he has his like quiet solitude to himself. Wonderful thing to do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, for me, that would be a sleep interrupter because one of the things I try to do for myself that is a self-care thing is getting plenty of sleep. I forgot to mention that early on, but that's a big one.
Yeah.
I try to get plenty of sleep.
Yes, which we all need. At least 7 to 8 hours.
So getting up early, extra early to...
You would have to go to bed a little extra early. And you're too busy to do that.
well, I don't know. Isn't that why we're talking about self-care?
I know.
How about exercise?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that as a form of self-care.
Yes. And for women, so important, especially for women in the peri to post-menopause years. And you'll be surprised to learn that it should not be excessive. It should be moderate, because for many women, they are doing these crazy, I don't know,
Boot
gladiator
camps and stuff like
boot
that, yeah.
camps, whatever. It raises cortisol levels, leads to hormone imbalance, insulin resistance, leptin resistance. And so we end up with all of these other symptoms that women don't realize it's their exercise program that may be causing. So moderate exercise is wonderful. Things like yoga, Pilates, Tai Chi, rebounding, which is jumping on a mini trampoline.
Yeah.
It's great. That is great for preventing osteoporosis, helping with bone regrowth. Of course, if you have pelvic floor issues, you might not want to do that. But if you do have pelvic floor issues, you might want to see a physical therapist for that, a pelvic floor physical therapist. Highly recommend it. We could get into a whole nother conversation about that. But
Rebounding is also great for lymphatic drainage. Yes.
Yep. And if you're not exercising at all, you're not moving your lymphatic system. If you're not getting a massage, if you're not exercising, because those are really the only ways to get your lymphatic system moving and getting those toxins out of your body. And recently I discovered, because I have been diagnosed with osteoporosis in my hip. Whole nother story about that and why I'm a little bit disappointed in my medical team ahead of time, but is a vibration plate. So vibration plate is, you've probably seen these advertised. It's exactly what it sounds like. You stand on this thing and it vibrates your whole body. And the studies have proven, they've done studies with astronauts, which they've also done with the rebounding. When they've returned from space, having no gravity, they lost bone while they weren't here. So when they return, they put them on these vibration plates and also on trampolines, and it's been proven to grow bone back. So I decided, well, that's what I want to do, because I do not want to take some of the certain medications that they wanted to put me on, because even though they say it grows bone, it doesn't grow good bone. Could do another whole episode on that. So I got this vibration plate, and it's just certain exercises you do every day. It's relaxing. It gets your whole body circulation going, and it's supposed to be proven to help with osteoporosis.
Now, does that also help with your lymphatic drainage?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
It's shaking everything on your body. So it's an exercise, and you're doing exercises on. You're not just standing there. So you're actually doing like squats and leg lifts and toe lifts and side kicks and all kinds of different things.
My favorite.
It's probably helping to really build your core too, because you're having to keep your balance.
Yeah.
Susan, we're going to have to get one of those
I
things.
know, it sounds like
Well, you guys can come over. We can have a vibration party. That sounds kind of awful, doesn't it?
No, maybe not. I don't know.
Put it off in a room. Put it off in a room by itself. We each get our own 30 minutes.
My Pilates instructor did say, are you going to use it with your husband?
Hey, this is a family show. PG.
Maybe not. I don't know.
But yeah, I love Pilates too. So, I mean, it's
like
just
it
wonderful.
as well. Yeah.
I've never done Pilates. I'll have to try that. I've never done it.
Yeah.
I am actually thinking about getting my own mini reformer. I'm not going to get a full size one, obviously, and I have no place to put it. But just because I do know the benefits of it, I did it years ago and then I stopped, but I danced my whole life, and that was created by a dancer. And dancers use that a lot as part of their workout routine.
Yeah, it's great for your core, flexibility, stretching,
and it lengthens your muscles.
I was going to say not
bulking them.
And it lengthens you.
Yes.
I think gained like a quarter or a half an inch doing Pilates.
No joke.
Yeah. So if you're concerned about that shrinking body as we get older, Pilates is a great one.
Gee, I don't have much. I'm not that tall, so
we can use all the help we can get, right?
Yeah.
All I can think of is Willy Wonka and stretching the kid in the taffy room.
Another thing that my husband and I this is the big one. This was a luxury thing for us, but I've wanted to do this forever. We just recently purchased an infrared sauna.
Nice.
And I did it for health reasons. My husband is a cancer survivor. Between that, getting older, osteoporosis, anxiety, all kinds of things, I felt like I couldn't find one that I could go to on a daily basis. So we bit the bullet and we bought one, and it's been great. And we bought a 2-person one so that we could actually go in there and have conversations and kind of relax together. And we've been enjoying it now for about a week and a half. Love it. And talk about relaxing. That you just feel the tension just release from your body in the sauna. Yeah. It's wonderful.
Gonna have to go over there, get on the vibration plate, and then go get in the sauna.
I said I was going to have a spa day. We can do that.
Yeah, I like it. That's sounding good.
Yeah.
I'm most interested in the vibration plate right now, I have to say.
And I do put all of those things up because I love them so much. They're in my menopause market. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So
you can check them out.
We'll provide Lorraine's website for you to check out all these products, which is great because I'm going to be looking at them. I know that. And let's not forget in this whole group of exercises, and I don't know if you're finished yet, but walking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I walk every day.
If you don't do anything else, just take a 20-minute walk, even if it's just 20 minutes.
Right.
Build up. Of course, the more you do, the better. But just a 20-minute walk every day, you've got to be able to fit that in. Turn off Instagram for 20 minutes.
Yes.
And do the walk.
I walk twice a day, usually, for 30 minutes apiece. Sometimes even more.
Yeah, like I said, it's like a Xanax.
Yep.
It really is. I found that as well. And I can tell when I miss a day. you know.
Yeah.
And I sometimes listen to music. I listen to podcasts.
That's a good thing to do too.
Yeah. But some days I'm like you, Lorraine. I don't use anything because it's just kind of nice to hear nature.
Yeah.
Even though I'm in the city, you can still hear nature when you're walking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Even the sounds of the city could be cool.
They can be. So
Yeah.
all right. Anything else to add to the exercise?
Yoga.
Yeah, yoga is a big one. For most people, that is the way to go to prevent anxiety and to release tension. I do it a little bit. I'm not like a yoga person. I prefer Pilates, but I will do certain yoga movements.
I like it, and I should be doing it more than I am because I feel like, especially for women our age and older, it is so vital to be enhancing your flexibility and your balance. And that does both for you.
And yoga also is resistance training
Yes,
a little
it
bit.
is.
And
It
that helps
absolutely-
with bone loss,
Right.
Yeah.
which is something that
And
as
even
you
if
lose estrogen, that happens.
Yeah, and interesting fact. So estrogen prevents bone loss, but it does not increase bone growth. So you would still need to take, like, vitamin K is what's very important, and that's what I wanted to get to before. I was not told to take vitamin K for many years. It was like, take a calcium pill. Do this,
Nobody
and-
tells you that.
No. So important, ladies, take vitamin K. It's what keeps calcium in your bones, and it is the only thing that will help bone regrowth. So estrogen's important to keep your bone, but once you've lost it, the estrogen is not going to regrow the bone. It'll prevent any further bone loss, but vitamin K will do both. So very important to supplement with the vitamin K.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. But yeah, yoga for me is a biggie because I just think it can provide so much. And really, now you can get yoga classes on your TV.
You can get yoga classes for free on YouTube.
Just keep in mind when you're doing it by yourselves to be very careful. Sometimes it's nice to, if you want to experience yoga, to maybe at least go for a class. And sometimes there are free classes that you go to just so somebody can be watching your body and show you the proper techniques, because
you can hurt
yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's mat Pilates. I've hurt myself doing mat Pilates when I was doing it on a Zoom with my instructor because she wasn't there to watch my body form, and I actually did hurt my back doing that. So just please be careful. Just be aware of that. So
take it easy.
Yeah,
easy
and if you are able to do it with an instructor a couple of times, and then
that's a great suggestion.
Then there are so many programs, like you said, so many free programs that you can watch.
Okay. Anything else that
So retreats is a wonderful thing. Okay, so this is my big thing that I love, and I'm actually planning one for October 2023 in Tuscany. A big women's retreat.
How could that be bad?
I'm just saying.
I don't see any negative to that.
Same here.
I think it is like it incorporates everything we've just talked about.
Right.
Community with women, yoga classes, Pilates classes, possibly massage, talking about self-care in every way possible, eating wonderful food prepared by Italian nonnas.
Discussing things like drinking wonderful wine, discussing things like this.
Yes, and it's on a beautiful villa, on a 650-acre vineyard. It's exactly what you would imagine Tuscany to be. Absolutely gorgeous area.
I love it.
And so the plans are to have all these wonderful self-care things for women.
Well, as Joy knows, I've been thinking about putting together a retreat for a while as well, but very similar to what you're talking about. And, I've had ideas on where to go. California for me is a great place just because I know the area so well. And I just think, with the redwood forest, you can do a forest bathing and a hike in the forest. You can go out to the ocean.
Forest bathing.
Oh, listeners, don't you just want to come on board?
Yes. Forest bathing, another wonderful self-care. Yes.
So I really want to plan one out in California. So of course we'll have Lorraine with us if we go.
I'm coming. I don't care.
Wine tastings, great food.
I'd love it.
Yoga.
Yes.
So it's in the works, and we'll have to figure out when we'll do it. But definitely, I have been to a few retreats, different kinds, of course, some very spiritual, some more pampering. I don't see how you can go bad with one.
No. Not at all. You come back renewed, a new person.
Yes.
Yeah.
And new
wonderful.
friendships.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
New experiences.
Yeah.
Just wonderful.
And it kind of resets you and it gets you on that healthy path. If you haven't had that mindset before, it kind of like sets you on that path and
Right. I
gets you to
agree.
realize how good you can be. Your body is meant to feel good.
It is. It allows you to recalibrate.
Yeah.
Is the way I look at it. Like I was lucky enough, I went to Canyon Ranch. And while it wasn't a retreat per se, it's like a retreat.
Oh, yeah.
And they have all those
Did
things.
you do the one in Massachusetts or
The one in Tucson.
Tucson. Yeah.
So all the stuff they have there is what you're going to hope to get out of a retreat.
Yeah.
So it is kind of like going on a retreat.
Yeah, I got my suitcase right here.
Yeah, I'm going.
It's
When
on
can
wheels.
we
It's
go?
packed.
When
I'm ready
can
to
we
go.
I'm ready.
All right, listeners, everyone listening, let us know if you're interested in a retreat.
Absolutely, because we've got Lorraine's coming up and we're going to be planning one as well. So they're fabulous and well worth it.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'm excited just thinking about
I want to
it.
go now.
I
Can we go now?
know, right?
And you and I have been
Yes.
on a few, not really retreats, but we've been to multiple
Yeah.
events.
Yes. Some of them included health class. No, I wouldn't you call it a class, but like a health event.
Well, no, they were like
Yeah,
classes. They're
yeah.
like mini seminars.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although we did enjoy, we were in Arizona
Oh,
and we
that
did
was
enjoy a spa
magnificent.
for the last day that we were there. And that was probably the best part of the whole thing.
Yes, that was magnificent.
It was wonderful.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
And we did the plunge, the cold water plunge and all that.
Oh, well, see, that's another one. Isn't that supposed to be good for anxiety?
It's invigorating.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
And we spent the day there at the spa area. It was just fantastic.
And one evening, and that was wonderful, we did that sound bathing under the stars in the desert.
Oh, nice.
And it was like the stars just came out, and then the
beautiful.
coyotes we heard in the distance. It was like incredible. It was
Right.
incredible.
Well, obviously, we could talk about this subject for a long time, and there are so many things that we've only touched on, I think,
Yeah.
that are wonderful ways to provide self-care. And I think the thing we really want to point out is it doesn't cost a lot of money. You don't have to take a lot of time to
No.
do it. And it's so very important
Yeah.
to your well-being.
You can create
yes.
your own retreats at home.
Absolutely.
Get those girlfriends together. And
Get your
just
girlfriends together, get all your nail polish and all your
facial
skincare stuff,
Yeah.
and just get together and have a good old-fashioned
Yeah. Yeah.
get together and gab fest.
Yeah. And try to do it as often as possible.
Yes.
It's important.
Because what it really boils down to is time.
Yeah.
Spending time just doing something that pleases you and that gives you a break from whatever's going on in the world and in your life.
I've got two sayings that I love. One is take the time, for there will come a time when there is no more time. And the other one is if you change nothing, nothing changes. Mm-hmm. So you got to really take the time for yourself and take those steps that'll make a difference in your life.
I mean, really, why do we work? And why do we do the things we do day to day, pay our taxes, pay the mortgage, or whatever? We're doing it not for the sake of working. We're doing it for the sake of being able to live a lifestyle that is pleasing to us, that helps us be happier and be more adjusted in our lives and helps us have the space to spend time with family and loved ones, right?
What are we here for? We're here to be
Right.
happy.
Exactly.
Yeah, please don't think this is something that is
Out of reach.
A luxury.
a luxury. Thank
Yeah.
you, Lorraine. And because it isn't, it is about maintaining a positive, joyful life for yourself.
Yeah.
Because you can never have too much joy.
That's right, Joy.
I'm just saying.
Another one of my favorite sayings.
Mine too.
Well, and I think about it this way too. I always, the first time I went to Europe, one of the things I learned when I went over there was this saying of that Europeans work to live, we live to work. Mm-hmm. And sadly, it's true. And if we can learn to do a little more living, even though we have to work, that's just a bonus.
I know. What do they say at the end of someone's life? Do you ever hear them say, I wish I worked more?
Never.
It's true.
So we're here to encourage you all
Yeah.
to find ways to provide self-care. We hope we've given you some great ideas, and we'll provide footnotes for a lot of this stuff, and be thinking about those retreats.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm packing my bag.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Go find your own if it's not one of ours, because there's
Yeah.
plenty out there for
Hey, look,
different things.
Let me just say this. This podcast is mobile. I got the bag over here.
Yeah, really, Joy.
Pack all this
right.
stuff up. Yep. I could pack all this stuff up. It has a name tag on it that's shaped like a hot dog. I call it the hot dog. That's another thing I do for self-care is I routinely work on trying to make myself laugh, and that is one of them. My hot dog luggage tag.
Yes. Laughter.
Yes.
So important.
Laughter
Yes.
is a very, very big one. And
Absolutely.
so I can pack up the hot dog and we can all go together. And it'll be so much fun. Yes.
The hot dog and the vibration machine.
Oh boy.
I'm getting a cramp.
Okay, on that note.
Well, as you can tell, we have no fun together at all. But thank you for joining us again for this episode. We really had a lot of fun with it. We hope you did too. And we hope you'll join us next time on another episode of Girlish Gurus.
Oh, thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye, ladies.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Girlish Gurus. We hope you'll join us next time for a new, interesting, and fun topic. Be sure to check the description of this episode for any links or information about the episode's topics, and to find us on our social media platforms.
And don't forget to download this episode, give it a good review, and share it with your girlfriends. The more interaction we get, the more episodes we can post.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.